I will record. For those of you that maybe have missed the last few training Zooms, they are up to date now on the YouTube page. I did post that on the friends page. Melissa, how are you doing?
He's very sad.
Oh, did you get somebody new? You're on mute. Are you getting Basil? Okay, but you haven't gotten him yet.
No, I'll get him next week because I'm dog sitting for a friend and
That's
apparently
right. Yep.
we don't want to mix them.
Yep, gotcha. So. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Joni says, I have Charlie Brown, Lewis Latte, and Garth Brooks. Oh, Joni, I'd like to be at your house. I only have 2. Okay, so we're going to start. Is Caitlin here?
I haven't seen her come in yet.
Okay.
Caitlin, I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
Unless there's another Caitlin.
No, I just didn't see your name. Hello, Caitlin.
Neck in.
Did we get confirmation on sharing the?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, so I don't have it, but if you can send it to me.
I emailed it to you and Laura earlier.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right. I will check while we're doing it. Absolutely. I can check. All right. Let me share. So we are going to start with recall because we are finding that that is something that we don't address a lot. We talk about its importance, but we don't really address it. So we're going to address it as soon as I can figure out how to share my screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, yes. You need to come in here? No, I got it. Okay, down. Sorry, guys, be patient with me just for a minute. I feel like I thought I knew what I was doing, and then I don't. Okay. Now I know it. Okay. So we're going to start with recall. How many people do we have in, Laura? Because now I can't see it.
1 moment. I left it because I was working on the attendance. Okay. 1 moment, please. We have 18.
Okay. All right. So recall is when you call your dog to you and they come and you say, yay, good job, good come, way to go. But it's super, super important. It can save your dog's life. It can pull your dog away from something that they're distracted by. It can help them come back to you when they're heading towards something that they shouldn't be heading to. So super important. So here are 7 tips. So you all have a dog now, or I would assume most of you have a dog, or if you don't have a dog right now, you're going to be getting a dog. I would practice starting with their recall inside. I would see how their recall is inside your house. Go to a room and call them, and then go to another room and call them again. I would see how it is inside. And then I would go outside and see how it is outside in a fenced-in area. And just check their recall. And I would do that on a regular basis. I play hide and seek. It's a game we're going to talk about, and I've talked about it on here before. I play hide and seek. Well, I used to play hide and seek a lot inside my house. I would go to a room. I would call the dog, and I would put them in a sit stay in another room. I would go to another room, and I would call them, and they would have to come find me. And then I would do it again, and I would just keep doing that. And it was fun for them. They loved finding me. And usually when they found me, I would give them a treat. Sometimes I would just praise them. I would kind of vary it. One time they might get a treat. The next time they might get just a yay, good job, you found me. You know, big celebration. So that's really good to practice with your dogs. start inside. So tip one is using a long lead. If you're going to go out in an area that's not fenced in, you know, you're going to take your dog to a big field or something. So start, and you don't know if your dog will recall in this big field without a fenced in area. Use a long lead. And so obviously the second one is start inside with no distractions. If you start inside, you don't necessarily have to use a lead because your dog is going to want to find you. If you're finding that your dog is not coming to you in the house, then you're going to want to use the long lead inside. I have never found that from puppies to older dogs. They always want to find me, but there may be a dog out there that is like, oh, I'm more interested in something else than finding my person. So you have to figure that out. If you decide you need the long lead inside, perfectly fine to use that. I have a 15-foot lead that I use on a fairly regular basis. You want to vary your reinforcers. One time it might be a toy, the next time it might be a treat, the next time it might be praise. You have to decide what works for your dog. For Micah, I use a ball a lot of times, and obviously treats. They love treats. And then of course my voice. If your dog, don't do it so many times that your dog gets bored with it. Do it until the excitement doesn't end, and then stop, and then pick it up another day or another time. Every recall should be a positive experience. I know there are times when our dogs are out in the yard and they're playing and you want them to come in and they're not coming in, and somehow you get them to come to you and you're like, oh, and you're upset with them. Recalling them should not be where you're upset. The minute they come to you, you should be, yes, good job, regardless of how long it took you. Because the minute you're upset with them that they came to you, then they're going to be like, well, why would I want to come to you if you're going to be upset with me? So we want to make sure that when we're calling them to us, regardless of how long it takes, there have been times when I have laid on the ground and called the dog, and I don't get mad at them. If I've been calling them and they're not coming, I will immediately lay on the ground, and the dog, I have so many dogs that are like, boom, they're like Velcro. I'm going to get her. And I don't get upset with them. I'm like, yes, you found me, or you got me, or whatever I say. And so every recall should be a positive experience. Don't always call them in. And I know Laura and I both talked about this a lot. Don't always be out in the backyard and call them to you and take them right inside. Call them to you, give them a treat, tell them what a good dog they are, and then let them go play again. Because if you're calling them to you every time and then taking them inside, they know when you call them, the fun has ended. Also, don't call them if you are not going to follow through. If you're going to say, Micah, come, and Micah doesn't come, and you are going to be like, okay, he's not coming. You have to follow through. It's just like any other command. Make sure that if you're telling the dog to come, that you're figuring out how to get him to come. Whether it's, sometimes I have to shake treats. I have a treat jar and I'll shake it, and my dogs are right there. So figure out what works for your dog, but don't call the dog, so-and-so come, and then not follow through on it, because then it's just going to be like, oh, they say that, but they don't really mean it. Susan Garrett's a great one for recall games. She has great suggestions, and there's a couple of other people, but you can look up, recall games, and there's a lot of good choices, but I'm going to give you 3 in just a minute. The other one is everybody should be using the same command. It's come. It's not come on over here or come and get it or whatever. It's just their name and come. One of the games is hide and seek, which I just talked about. That's one I play a lot. I like that because I always, for some reason, I'm a little strange. I get a big kick out of when the dog finds me. So I just recently moved into a little bit bigger RV. So now I think I'm going to go back to playing that game because I will be able to hide. Not very far, but I'll be able to hide. So I'm kind of excited about that. But you want to go somewhere where your dog can't see you, and you want to put them in a stay first, in a sit stay or a down stay, either one. And then you go away, you go hide, and then you call them. And so the dog has to find you. And when they find you, it should be a big party. And some of you have bigger houses, and so you have lots of places to hide. Do it a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. Super fun for the dog. Gets them to realize that coming to you is a fun experience, and that's what they want to do every time. So that's hide and seek. And then this one is round robin or monkey in the middle. I've also done this a lot. You have to have a second person for this, or even a third person, where the dog sits next to you and the other person calls the dog. So say Laura and I were together and I have a dog sitting next to me. She calls the dog, so-and-so come. They come to her. She rewards them with a treat or a yippee or whatever. And then they sit by her and then I call them and you go back and forth. And that's great for the dog, one, to learn to go to other people and also just to practice come with you. So if you have an extra person, or even if you have somebody who has a dog and you have two dogs, you could practice that way. You just want to have a little bit of, you want it to be in a controlled area. So you either have one dog sit by you and the other dog here, and you hold one of the dogs, however you want to do it. But it's a great practice, and it's great to teach your dog to listen to other people as well. Find what your dog's currency is. So it might be fetch, it might be tug of war, might be praise, it might be treats, it might be chicken pieces, it's different for every dog. We have some dogs who like everything. They're okay. It could be a squeaky toy. It could be just that you are like, yay, good job. So you have to decide what works for your dog. If you're working on really difficult recalls with distractions or long distances, make sure you're using something like I called it a jackpot on here. Something that really gets their attention, really is high praise for them. I've cooked up chicken before and just used little pieces. They don't need a lot. They don't need a whole chunk of chicken, but just little pieces. And that is even bigger than just the treats that you get at the store. The more consistent you are, the more practice, the better they're going to get. And so this is something we should be practicing with every single dog. Some of our dogs, recently, Micah's pretty good about coming, especially when we're out and about. He'll pretty much come. But I noticed recently we moved our camper and we were close to bushes. And he liked to go, after we played ball for a few minutes, he was going into the bushes instead of bringing the ball back to me. And so I got out my long lead and I started working with my long lead, and I would throw the ball, he would get it, and then I would make him come back to me instead of coming to the bushes. I worked with him for 20 minutes. I used the ball as a reward, and I used treats that I had in my pouch. And within 30 minutes, this dog was automatically coming right back to me instead of going to the bushes. The bushes were just cool. I think he liked to get in there where there was dirt, and he got the ball and got away from me so that I couldn't get it. So then we just started playing a different game, and it was 30 minutes. And he was like, he started to look at the bushes and then realized, nope, I'm supposed to come to mom. And that's what he did. So it doesn't take long, but it does take consistency, and you can't give up on your dog. Some dogs are great at recall, and some of them are not going to be. You have to figure out where your dog's at. Does anybody have any questions about recall? I'm going to hold on. Where'd we go? Okay, so some additional things to consider. Keep your tone happy and your body language. Like I said earlier, you don't want to be mad at the dog. Oh, you stupid dog. Why don't you ever come? You don't want to do that because the dog is going to pick up on that. Never scold them for coming back, no matter what, because they came back. I've had moments where like I said, I've called a dog, so-and-so come, and I've used my happy voice and nothing is working. And so I lay down on the ground, and then they see me on the ground. They think I'm in trouble. And I'm like, so-and-so come. I used to do a lot with Diver, a dog I had. Oh my, he was so funny. And he would come running toward, just plow into me. And I just did not get mad at him because he was coming and he was getting it. So I know the easy thing sometimes is to jump to scolding them because you think they'll remember that. Yeah, they'll remember that you scolded them, and then they're not going to come back. Also, don't chase your dog. If for some reason your dog does get away from you, I know the instinct is to chase them. Oh my God, I got to go after them. Don't chase them, because then it's become a game of chase. Oh, let's have fun. Yay, they're playing with me. And it'll take you even longer to get them back. We always talk about distance, duration, distractions, those three things. When you're, be in a safe area. and use those 3 things. Get a little bit farther away from them. Give them a little bit longer time to play before you call come, and use distractions. A distraction might be a ball. I'm going to show you a real cute video of a dog who gets distracted, but the handler uses her really high-pitched voice and the dog comes right back. It's very cute. Hold on. It's one of our handlers from New Horizons. Hold on. I got to escape out of there and stop sharing for a minute and find my video. Find my video. Where is it? Laura, say something while I'm looking.
Oh, okay. If your name just shows up on the square without a dog name, would you find the 3 little dots in the upper right corner? Click on it and add your dog's name, please. I know it was supposed to be comic relief, and this time it wasn't. It was housekeeping.
That's okay. Right. Housekeeping is good. Let's hope it's this one. This one, right? Okay, yes. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so this is an example of one of our handlers at a training calling their dog to them. And you'll notice the dog is turning away from the handler, and the handler does whatever it takes to get the dog to come back to her. Okay, share screen. And okay. All right, can everybody see the video? Can somebody give me a thumbs up? Yes, okay. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Love that. Okay, could you hear it? You couldn't hear it? Oh, dang it. I don't know how to get you to hear it. So the dog you saw looking away, she uses a really high-pitched voice. Hold on, let me see if
It's so high that only dogs can hear it.
no.
If you're using your headphones when you're talking, it's not going to show up the sound for all of us.
Oh, but okay, well, let me try it that way then. Hold on. Let me see. I'll try it because normally it does, but I use a different platform to tutor and I can use my headphones and they can hear. Hold on. All right, let's try it this way. Maybe this will work. Okay. No? Dang it.
Nope, only dogs can hear it.
Okay. That's part of the coolness of the video. Is being able to hear her really high-pitched voice. Oh, why did I turn my video off? Has my video been off the whole time? Oh, so sorry.
You've been hiding behind your picture. You told us you
I know,
were.
but I didn't mean to do that. I meant to turn it on. So I've been gesturing and everything to you guys, and you totally missed all that.
We thought you were hiding your new house.
I'm not even in my house. I'm at work, so I'm in the office. That's so funny. Okay, give me 1 second. Laura, you talk or somebody talk. And so many people are, so many other people are hiding their faces. Where are you all?
They're very shy.
I guess so.
Very shy. I'm looking at Deborah. Were you on the iPhone and now there you are? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Say something. When's the last time you brushed your dog? Oh, this isn't a Q&A. This isn't a Q&A. But if the answer to that is, it's probably time to brush your dog. If I don't know what the deal is with Nebula, I may have to start using conditioner after I shampoo her. But if she gets dog spit where they get right here and they get a hold of each other, 12 hours later, she has a mat right there under her ear. So I have been using my brush more lately than I have in a long time. With a lab, I got spoiled and kind of out of the habit. But if you have a golden and you can't go, oh yeah, I did that yesterday, or I did that this morning. Or if you can't remember the last time you brushed your dog, roll them over, brush them out really good. And if you find a mat, use one of the mat cutters, work it out. It's great time to talk to your dog and tell them how good they are and bond with them, but don't leave those mats in there. They get down to the skin, they can cause real problems, especially this time of year. Hot, moist, you get a lump right up against the skin and invites all kinds of problems. So when's the last time you brushed your dog? If you don't know, pick up your brush when you get done.
Yep. And the other thing, Micah, stand. Micah, stand. Come here. Go over here, buddy. Good boy. I'm going to show you the underneath. Okay. Under here, it gets.
Poor Micah.
Well, see, I do this to him, but right under here is a great place for the mats to gather. And it can hurt them if they get too close to the skin. So you really want to check all this area under there. Okay. Your dog will handle it just fine. You can have them roll over, but make sure you're checking all those places. Good boy. Yes. And
it's a great time to practice roll. Get them down, have them roll.
Yep.
And if that's not on your regular routine of commands, that's a good one to add, because that lets you get access to all those armpit areas, that under butt fluff that poor Micah just showed you so nicely.
Yep. Come here. This armpit area right here, way under here. Okay. Great place for mats to hide. So.
And they have 4 armpits.
Yes. Yes, they do. And it's okay if you get in your dog's stuff. They'll be fine with it.
and behind their ears. Some of the dogs, it never happens there. And some of them, that's where it starts first.
Yep.
Under the tail too is another one.
That's what Wendy just showed.
Oh, I thought she was talking about back of thighs. I'm sorry.
Well,
what did I just show?
Okay, I am paying attention, I swear.
Somebody speak. Where did I show? I showed.
Well, you did the underarms and the back of the thighs, and then I was saying under the tail too.
Yeah, I lifted his tail. I lifted his tail up.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, that's super important. Okay, Joni Cornell says when her husband David calls Latte, she doesn't come. When I call, she comes most of the time. I think it's my voice being a higher, happier pitch that helps. Yeah, some dogs, they need that. Okay, let's see. I got this video. I got it, brought it up a different way. Let's see if you can hear it now. No, still, that just stinks. Okay, well.
Imagine.
So, well, you'll see at the beginning where the dog is distracted. He's turned faced away from her, and she literally is using this such a high-pitched voice. She's like squeaking like a mouse, and he then turns his head and darts toward her. So, and I must be doing something wrong for it not to be playing. So I have to figure that out. All right. Oh, nope. Stop. Okay. I'll figure it out. I don't know how, but I will. Okay. I need to get rid of the chat. Goodbye, chat. Go away. All right. Next thing. Anybody have any questions about recall? It's super important that your dogs are coming to you in the house, outside. And so you should be practicing that on a fairly regular. So practicing it means really running through that command with your dog. That's practicing it. Because when you get into a situation that you need the dog to come and you haven't practiced, that's where you're going to run into a problem. Oh, Kelly said at the last training, someone told us about a de-shedding rake. It works great. With 2 dogs, we're having to vacuum 4 to 5 times a day. Now only 1 to 2. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have mine with me, but I have a rake that really does a good job. Okay, next thing. Hold on. Totally messed up mine. Leave it. No, see, they're not going to be able to hear that either.
Yeah, I heard that.
You heard that?
Yeah, leave it. Yeah.
Yes, that's crazy. Okay. Well, I don't understand why. I don't know the difference, but okay. There's no on that slide. Nope. Okay. Okay, so the next one, oh no. Do you know your commands? Okay, do you know your commands? Okay, everybody get ready. So you can either write this down in the chat or you can write it on a piece of paper. Because I'm going to show you the definition of a command and you have to give the command. Okay, so either a piece of paper or just write it in the chat. It's up to you. If you're comfortable with the chat, do it in the chat. If you're not, get a piece of paper. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'll read it and show it for those of you that are visual. Okay. Okay, here we go. Instructs the dog to locate its leash and bring it to you. Instructs the dog to locate its leash and bring it to you. What command is that? Okay, so let's see. Melissa Robinson, what is it? You're muted.
Sorry. Get your leash.
Yes, good job. Okay, all right, here comes the next one. Here we go. I got to see myself so I can see if I'm holding up the command or not. Okay, instructs the dog to enter a doorway and wait for the handler. Instructs the dog to enter a doorway and wait for the handler. Okay, Dina, what is it? She's on her. At first, I thought you were on a bouncy ball, but you must be on your treadmill.
I'm on my treadmill. I figured an hour, I get my hour in.
Yes, good job.
It's either, I think it's go through or go in.
I vote go through.
It's go through. It's go through. Go in is to go under the table.
Go under the table. Got it.
Yep. Okay. All right. Calls dog, lets the dog know a command is coming. Yeah, that makes sense. Calls dog, lets it know a command is coming.
Yep.
Okay, who else is on here? I gotta see. Let's see. Cheryl, what's the command? Or what is it? What is that?
Settle.
What is it?
Settle.
No, it lets the dog know a command is coming. What would you do if you're going to let your dog know a command is coming? What do we do to get their attention?
Call their name.
Yes, call their name. Okay. All right, next one. Wait a minute. That might have been a little bit worded wrong, misworded. Dog must put its rear on the floor. Dog must put its rear on the floor. Everybody should get this within seconds. No. Okay, Nora, what is it?
Sit.
Yes, awesome. Okay, all right, next one, ready? This tells the dog the command is complete and they are off duty. This tells the dog the command is complete and they are off duty. No. You can't see anybody's face. Okay, Maria, what is it?
Release.
Yes, release. Good job. All right, next one. Dog lies with the entire body on the floor. Dog lies with the entire body on the floor. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, Caitlin, what is it?
I didn't know we were going person by person. I would say down and head down because I don't think head down would get them right into it, right?
But it's just down. You got it, down. Yep.
Oh, when you said whole body, I
Well,
thought you
right,
meant
their whole body. Well,
I
it
got it.
could be, but head
just-
down doesn't put their whole body on the ground. Just down does.
I was thinking body included head. My apologies.
Okay. Temporarily stops the dog from, wait a minute. No. I can't find myself. There I go. Okay. Temporarily stops the dog from moving forward or crossing a threshold. Temporarily stops the dog from moving forward or crossing a threshold. Okay, who's out there? Some of you are hiding. Melina, are you there?
She's there.
Okay, hi,
I
Melina.
am. I
Okay.
say wait.
Yes, and you would be correct. Yes, that is it. Good job. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is an easy one. Dog should make eye contact with you. Dog should make eye contact with you. Yes. All right, Kenny K, what is it? Kenny K, are you there? Are you hiding? Somebody.
I'm trying to get my voice to work.
Oh,
Oh, watch me.
dog should make eye contact with you. What is it?
Look at me.
No, it's watch me.
Watch me.
Watch
Okay.
me. Look is
Had
where
my
we get
voice
them
working.
to
If my
look.
mute button would have said watch me, but I was looking for my thing, so look at me.
So watch me is getting them to look at you. Look is the command we use to look at something to retrieve out, look.
Right,
There's
yeah, I
the
know
ball.
that. I was looking at me, forget to look at my mouth and say, look at me. But okay, watch
It
me.
is. It's watch me.
All
Okay.
right, watch me.
Dog should put its front paws on your legs when seated. Dog should put its front paws on your legs when you're seated.
It's my lap.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Kenny.
All
It's
right,
my
I'm
lap.
gonna turn my mute now. I'm one for two.
Yes. Okay. Tells the dog to be calm so he can focus. Tells the dog to be calm
Settle,
so he can focus. What'd you say?
settle,
Settle.
easy?
Yes. Settle. Good job. Okay, this one should be an easy one. And I know some of you wonder why we do this command, but this is really important for especially people who are like in a wheelchair, have difficulty getting around. This is a good one. So time to go potty. What's the command?
go busy.
Yes, busy. Yep. Some people say go busy. Some people just say busy. Some people say busy. So I just say busy. Get busy. All right. Oh, dog must not sniff or taste or look at an interesting item. Well, I guess they could look at it, but they cannot sniff it or taste it or eat it or take it.
Pass, go, or collect $200.
That's right. Okay, everybody together.
Leave it.
Yes.
Leave it.
Yes. Good job. Okay, so that's our next command, leave it. So this is super important. You'll notice in the picture up in the left-hand corner, there's just a dog who is sitting in front of looks like some type of a bone with meat on it. Okay, leaving it alone. Just a random picture. You'll notice the other dog there's a ball sitting in front of him. And then this is an actual picture of Wasabi at a restaurant with a piece of bacon on the floor that somebody had dropped from earlier. And he got his nose near it and watched it, but he did not touch it or get it during the whole meal. And I left it there on purpose because one, Wasabi is an older dog and I had high expectations for him and he met them beautifully. He didn't touch the bacon. He did look at it. So this where it says dog must not sniff or taste or look at. So it's okay to look at, but just as long as they don't get it. He did not get it. He left it there the whole time. I wouldn't try that with a puppy or somebody that doesn't have leave it solid. I might do it for a minute and then I would pick it up off the floor, but I purposely left it there for Wasabi because I knew he would be a champ at this. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm going to show you this video. We'll see if you can hear this. So this is a little girl who has a toy, I think, for this dog.
Leave it. Good boy.
Could you hear that? Huh, okay. So that little girl had a stuffy and the goal was for Blue Ridge to just leave it alone and not touch it because we know how much our dogs love stuffies. Okay, so
Leave it.
yes, we got that.
Good boy.
So I will tell you that is Karen on tonight?
No, I haven't seen her.
Okay, shouldn't have a dog. So I edited this video because there was a lot of extra words in it. And especially when we're teaching a command, the first few times, first 100 times, first 200 times, we don't want to add a lot of extra words. But Blue Ridge is an older dog. He probably got exactly what Karen was saying, but I needed to cut that out. But it was kind of funny. She was like giving him kissy noises and he did really well though. The little girl was waving the stuffy around because it was attached to a stick and he just sat right there and left it alone the whole time. So,
And to his credit, because stuffies were his weakness, he would sneak in and steal them from the granddaughter. Probably that exact horse. I remember her mentioning a horse.
yeah. So I think they were practicing with them, which is great. The leave it command is used to prevent your dog from picking things up. It tells your dog not to touch or pick up things that you don't want it to have, like a child's toy, a dirty tissue, medicine, or any one of the 100 things dogs try to pick up. And then there is let's see, I don't think it'll let me click on it. The way I put it in there won't let me. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing for one moment. And
I've renamed Schnitzel Leave It. He thinks his name is Leave It.
that's funny,
Not a bad thing for a puppy to think.
right? Okay. Nope. Okay. No. Go back. Okay, now let me get back up here. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so this video I'm going to show you, it's actually one of our former trainers from New Horizons, and she's wonderful. She is working with little puppies. She doesn't say anything, so you really have to pay attention to what she does. Once the video is done, we'll kind of talk about it a little bit, because I know some of you who have younger dogs are really probably wondering, how do we start to teach it? So she has a puppy that she's working with. So we'll do this one first. Okay, can everybody see it? Can you see it? Yes? Okay. All right, so you'll notice, let me go, hold on. No. She offers the food to the dog. Okay, she kind of puts her hand out there. So she doesn't offer it to him, but she puts it out. And as soon as he starts to kind of put his nose down towards the food, she closes her hand. And she ends up rewarding him. So we've always told raisers, when you're teaching this skill, don't reward the dog with the food that you're keeping from them. But you'll notice she uses the same, and she's finding that it works. So you have to, because it doesn't matter how you do it, the goal is that you get the dog to leave it. So right here, she's offering it to him, and he doesn't take it. He looks up at her instead, and she gives him a treat from her hand. She didn't give it, she didn't offer it to him in this hand. She took it out of this hand and put it in her other hand. Okay. Then she lowers it, so it's even easier for him to get it. He starts to go for it. She closes her hand. And then she waits for him to look at her. And when his focus is totally on her, she gives it to him. She's probably doing this with no words yet. She won't add and leave it until a little bit later, but that's kind of how, especially with puppies, how you start. You just are offering them something. You're waiting for them to look at you. The second they go for what's in your hand, you close your hand. You can reward them with the other hand with a different treat. Okay. We've always said to do that. Like once you say leave it, they can't have it, and they shouldn't. They should never have what's in this hand, because this is what you're offering them. All right. Now I'm going to show you a video where a lady explains it, but it's good to see it without words, because especially with our babies, our older dogs know leave it. And that's a great practice for them. You put treats in your hand and you put it out and you tell them to leave it, and you see what they do. Where is it? Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing. Anybody have any questions about leave it? We're not done yet, but I just have to find my other video.
Wendy, I thought you always told us that we shouldn't say leave it to something we want them to get.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. You shouldn't say leave it. So if you've got glasses or, yep, you wouldn't, whatever it is, you shouldn't say leave it to things that you want them to get. So she's teaching that little dog to leave the food. So she's starting with it in one hand. As soon as the dog goes for it, she closes her hand. Eventually, she's going to add in the words, leave it. So he associates with, he can't have that treat with leave it. And then this video kind of give you a better demonstration. She talks you through it, if I can find it. But you're right. Anything you want, so this is the thing. We should never be saying leave it to things that the dog picks up, even if it's something we don't want them to have. You want them to bring it to you. You want to get it from them. So like my dogs have picked up my glasses before in their mouth. They've been on the table close enough and they've picked them up. And I don't say, oh my, I just say, here, bring it to me. Bring it, give, whatever. Come on, yes, bring me my glasses. And then they're like, oh, here I come. So yeah, we don't ever want to say leave it to things that we want, that we down the road they may need to pick up, glasses or keys or a remote, or and I've had remotes chewed mostly when I've left them out and I didn't put them away. Not when they've retrieved them. I've had puppies who've like found the remote and sauntered over to me like, hey, look what I got. I have your remote. And I'm like, yes, thank you, good job. You want to reward them for that, because the minute we start disciplining them for carrying something in their mouth, we're going to kill that retrieve. Okay. Oh, here it is. Yes. Okay. Let me share it and share screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you guys see her? Okay.
Hi, my name's Rana, and
We can hear her.
Yes.
I'm a canine behaviour and training advisor here at Battersea, and today I'm going to show you how to teach your dog a leave. This can be useful when you need to ask your dog not to pick up something that they're not supposed to have. You'll need 2 different types of food rewards for this training, something that your dog really loves, like chicken or sausage, and something not so tasty too.
Okay, so that's something we've recommended in the past, where you use 2 different treats, where the video you just saw, she used the same thing.
Dried dog biscuit is perfect. You'll need to mark the good behavior with a yes or a clicker before you follow through with the reward. Make sure you watch our advice on using a clicker first before using one in your training.
So for those of you who don't know, there's a type of training you can do. It's called clicker training. A lot of people use it. We don't particularly use it. We don't say you can't. We just have, that's not something we've done or train our raisers in.
Place a few pieces of the less tasty food on the floor where your dog can see it, but don't let them take it. In your other hand, have the tastier food behind your back. Stop your dog from taking the biscuit on the floor by placing your hand over it. They're probably going to try and nudge your hand out of the way, so make sure you hold on.
So this is a great way to teach your dog not to go after things in a restaurant, by placing it on the floor and teaching them leave it from the floor.
Soon as they stop trying to get the food and move their nose away, mark them with a yes and reward them with the tastier food. Repeat this and make sure to pick up the biscuit off the floor each time before covering with your hand. Keep practicing this until your dog understands that they only get the food reward once they move away from your hand. Eventually, they will stop trying to get the food that you place on the floor. Once they do this, you are then ready to move on. Repeat the action, but this time wait until your dog looks up at you and gives you eye contact. You may need to encourage this the first few times by saying their name, but some will do this naturally. When they look up at you, mark with a yes and follow with a reward. Next, you're going to slightly move your hand away from the food when you place it on the floor, but keep it close by just in case your dog tries to take the food. If they do manage to grab it, don't worry, just start the step again. As before, when your dog looks up at you.
Okay, I would say if your dog manages to grab it, you stick your hand down your throat and you get it from them. Don't let them get it. If you're teaching them leave it and they, are able to get in there quick, so you just have to, your reflexes have to be quicker than
You mark them with a yes and reward them with the tastier food. Keep practicing this, gradually moving your hand further away, but stay at the ready. You don't want to give your dog the opportunity to get the food on the floor. Once your dog has the hang of this, they should start to look up at you as soon as you put the food down on the floor. You can now introduce your cue word. Say leave just as you put the food down. Remember to always keep this positive. If you shout leave, your dog may just get worried. Once your dog is consistently successful, you can then start to practice placing tastier food on the floor. You may have to go back to the earlier steps at this stage, as this is going to make it much harder for your dog. Remember, try to never let them get what's on the floor. You can then try to walk your dog past a tasty distraction whilst they're on the lead. Say leave when they look at the food and wait for them to respond. You can then reward them when they look up at you. Keep practicing your leave when out on walks with different distractions and in different locations. You can keep making things more challenging for your dog, like dropping food from a height, moving it closer to them, or even putting it on their paws. Remember to have fun and always reward your dog with the tastier treat for leaving something.
Okay, notice that when she did this all in her home or office, whatever, and also when she started to practice on the leash, she put it on the floor and she knew it was there. And when the dog went for it, she didn't yank him back. She waited, she stopped him from getting it, and she waited until the dog looked at her. And then she rewarded the dog for looking at her. And our command is leave it. It's not leave, it's leave it. Okay. So I think that's a very helpful video. It walks you through each step. And this dog obviously is a young dog. And she does a great job of demonstrating just where to start. So any questions?
Yes, Wendy, this is Margot. I have a question. Was she rewarding him with the good food by placing it on the floor ever? I thought
no.
I saw her putting it on the floor.
No.
Okay, it was only out of her hand.
Yep, she put the kibble on the kibble on the floor, and then when she wanted to go to higher value treats, then she put those on the floor. Because she said, once you've gotten the dog to leave it in the beginning stages, then eventually you're going to use higher value treats.
Oh,
And
but she was not allowing him to eat the reward off of the floor.
No.
No.
Okay,
No,
I
she was
couldn't
giving it
quite
to
see
him.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, because we never ever put a reward or any treat on the floor.
No. I don't. I don't
Yeah.
put the treat on the floor. Mm-mm.
No,
No,
we don't
I
either.
try not to.
Mhm.
It's not something. So yeah. So I thought
Right.
that was a pretty good walkthrough of how to leave it.
Yes.
Okay, so hold on. There I am. Okay. The last thing. Caitlin, did you send that to me in my? Oh, never mind. I got it. Okay. So these are some things that when you turn your dog into New Horizons for them to go on to their next phase of training, Caitlin has put together as an intake form. And I think that it's very important. We all think that it's very important that you guys are aware of what they're looking at when we turn in a dog. Okay. So I'm going to, is that it? I think that's it. Okay. I think it's important that we go over it so you as raisers know that these are the things you should be looking for when you're working with the dog. So they're going to look at the body condition. So for instance, if you got a dog at 72 pounds and you turn them in at 85 pounds or 80 pounds, you set that dog up for failure just because they're overweight. Our dogs should never be within or out of 2 to 3 pounds of where you got them. So if you got them at 70 pounds and they went to 72 or they went to 68, that's not bad. They shouldn't be going any more than that. If you had a dog and your dog gained, unless they're a puppy, let me preface that. If they're a puppy, completely different. But if they're a prison dog, you get them at 18 months, 20 months, they're at that point pretty much full grown. They're not really going to gain much weight, and they shouldn't, especially 10 pounds, maybe a couple of pounds. So it's really important. I know we've talked about in the past about weighing them, whether you take them to the vet or you take them to Publix, be aware of their weight. As soon as you get them, I know New Horizons weighs them, ask them what that weight is so that you have a baseline, and then you can take them to your vet and see if it's the same or within a pound or two.
I do now put that weight on the health record I give out, the last
Okay.
weight that they had with us.
Awesome. Their coat, so feel the coat from head to toe. Are there any, we just talked about mats. That's so important, guys. We have dogs that are getting turned in that have mats, and they really shouldn't. And if you're having a hard time getting them out, reach out to me, to Caitlin, to Laura, somebody, and say, hey, I've got these mats. I don't know what to do. Do not cut them. Do not shave them. Please call the office and say, I've got, and you really have to feel, sometimes you got to get right up in there, just in their business to check them, because they're hidden. But it's super important. Those mats can really hurt them. They're painful. Also hot spots, be aware. Please don't send a dog back with hot spots and not let New Horizons know. I know that these dogs belong to New Horizons, but we've taken the responsibility to care for them. And we want to make sure that while they're with us, that they are in really good care and that we're watching for those things. Hot spots can get out of control in a second. And nobody's going to say, oh, you should have done this. Nobody's going to say that. They're going to say, thank you so much for letting us know. This is what you need to do. Laura and I have had several raisers text us, hey, I know a hot spot's starting. And we'll say, try this, try this, try this. And if it doesn't work, then call the office and they'll tell you what to do. But that's it. That's super important. Those hot spots can be painful to the dogs. I remember Kayak got one his whole neck, and it literally blew up overnight. And at that time it was late at night, and I think I called the office and I ended up having to call Janet, and I went the next day and got a shot or something for him, and within a couple of days, but it got so out of control quickly. And I know what to do for hot spots, but they blow up, and we know that. So we just want to be aware. If you wash your dog, make sure that you are thoroughly drying them. Oh, I meant to post this on the friends page. Y'all didn't believe me when I said that Micah loves the
Leaf blower.
dryer. Thank you, the leaf blower. This dog is nuts. And so I was going to post one on the friends page. I forgot. So I'll just show you this crazy puppy. But just so see if your dog will take a blower, because the blower makes it so much easier. Some dogs will not. Quinn hates it. She watches very carefully. And as soon as I bring the blower out, she steps backwards like, oh no. Where Micah's like, yeah, it's the blower. Oh my God. He loves it. So.
And you don't have to use a leaf blower. You can use a blow dryer.
True, you do not have to leave. Here we go. Wait a minute.
You're still sharing the document.
Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. There we go.
Yep, that's a leaf blower.
And I've been using a hairdryer the whole time. Go figure.
And he'll roll on the ground and throw his legs up in the air and let me do his belly. I mean, he loves it. It's hysterical. But try it. If your dog is deathly afraid of it, don't use the blower. Just do it. But the goal, the point to that is make sure your dog is dry, because that's where hot spots start. If you leave wet on them, there's a very good chance your dog's going to end up with a hot spot. So be aware of that. Okay, so I got to share again, don't I? All right, hold on. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I gotta hurry. All right. So those are all the things New Horizons. They also check the ears. Are they red? Are they dirty? So you can stick your finger in the dog's ears. You can. It won't. Their ear canals are different than ours, and you can stick it right down in their ear. And I try to use like a I have little wet things that I got from Amazon that are like have aloe vera on them and something else, and I'll stick, because Quinn's ears get bad, and I can stick them down in there and run them around and wipe that all out. But the goal is for you to notice if there's a problem with the ears, and also be making sure that they're clean. And if you see a problem, call the office. And if you're making, sometimes if I'm making a vet visit and that's not what the vet visit is for, I always have them look at my dog's ears. Is there check their eyes? Is there yellow or green discharge coming from them? Once in a while, I notice our dogs will get like little gunk, like I call them eye boogers. And I just wipe those away. But if there's actually discharge, that's something you want to notice. The teeth. Are there broken teeth in their mouth? Hopefully not. It could happen. They could be biting on something. You wouldn't know it until you actually looked at it. Also, they get plaque buildup back here. Micah, stand. Yes, good boy. You're my little. So you can look at your dog's mouths.
Wendy, you're still sharing the document. We can't.
Thank you. Okay, so you can take your dog's lips and push them up like this, and see these back teeth. A lot of times, like right now, he's got a little bit of stuff on him. So I'm going to take a washcloth and try to get and really scrub that back there. Come on, Bubby. Yes, but see his front teeth look so nice and pretty. Oh yes, see those teeth? Oh, look at it. Yes. And then I go to the other side, same thing. So your dog, I mean, this is what your dog should be able to let you do to them. He might not love it, but he's like, okay, you're my mom. I'm going to let you do it. So though we should be checking their teeth, sticking our hands in their mouth, because we want the vet to be able to do that. Mike is pretty used to it. Ugh, you're slimy. Okay, hold on. I'll go back to the document. Nope, go back to Zoom. Here we go. Share screen. Get out of there. Okay, their nails, that's a big one. Many of our dogs have very long nails and they should not be pointy. If your dog will handle a Dremel, use a Dremel. I meant to bring mine tonight and I forgot it. Use a Dremel. They're great. Sometimes, so Quinn is not in love with a Dremel, but if I take a big honking spoon of peanut butter and Tim holds the peanut butter on the spoon, I will do the Dremeling or vice versa, and she'll tolerate it. Sometimes you have to start little, just maybe do one nail, and then the next day do the other nail. It depends on what your dog will handle. Their nails were Dremeled when they were at New Horizons as puppies. And I don't know if they're Dremeled in prison, but Dremeling is just easier than
They are Dremeled in prison.
okay. It's easier than cutting them, because cutting them very often we cut the quick and then they're bleeding. And so I went out and got a Dremel and I am using it much more now and I love it. But their nails should not be at a point. Those should be, and also they should not be, if you're hearing click, click, click around your house, their nails are too long. So that's something, if we check all these things before they come into New Horizons to go back to prison, it's just gonna, it just makes it so much easier. We make sure we're taking care of the dogs. That's the end of the form. I went through all of it. So those are all of the things that we should be checking as the raiser. And if you have trouble or don't know how, reach out. We are here to help you. We are here. We want you to understand how important this kind of stuff is before your dog gets turned in. So, if you know your turn-in date is coming and it's a couple days off, start to look at their mouth, notice their ears, just start to take a look at that kind of stuff. Because when they get turned in, that's what the office is going to look at. And those are things we consider about whether we want to let a dog go back to the same raiser if those things are not being taken care of. So, does anybody have any questions? We have the privilege of caring for these dogs, and and it's also a responsibility and a commitment that we've made. And we just want to make sure that they're taken care of. And if you see something, don't be afraid to call the office. That is what they're there for. And if Caitlin, needs us, Laura or I, to handle it, she will reach out to us and let us know. But we're there to make sure that the dogs are taken care of.
And also make sure that they don't have dew claws growing in. Some of them got missed as puppies, and Nautical, for example, has a horrible, both of his are still there. And one grows in so fast that it curls up towards the skin.
Yes.
So we have to really be on top of that.
So this is the thing. No puppy got missed. What happens is
they grow back.
They grow
Actually,
back.
well, there was one litter. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Janet's here. There was one litter like a chunk of years ago that did get missed.
Okay,
but they can grow back.
No, for the most part, no litter has been missed, and they just do. They grow back. So their dew claw, for those of you that don't know, Micah, stand. Good boy. Come here. So their dew claw would be on the inside, right? The inside or the outside? I can't remember. It's the inside.
Inside, like a thumb.
It would be like like a thumb. If you take your dog's paw and feel it, you can feel it where it's been cut. So it's right here. Here's their 4 claws. Oh, I just Dremeled these, dude. So that's the other thing. I just Dremeled his nails maybe 4 or 5 days ago. They need to be done again. And the dew claw's there. So check for that. If the dew claw is there on their front paws, which is where they would be on the inside, let Caitlin know. Email her and say, hey, the dew claws are on this dog. And we don't want to let them curl around into the skin because it hurts the dog. So
hey, Wendy.
Yes.
Hey, I just went and looked up. I just posted a link for a YouTube video on Dremeling onto the chat page.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you want to bring it up and share it. It's a pretty quick video, but it's a pretty decent one.
Yep. There it is. Hold on.
I planned on enjoying my retirement, but I never planned on.
Okay, it needs to go through. It needs to load.
Medicare being so confusing.
You just got to go to the second and skip the ads.
Yep, I did. I did. Okay, here we go. Hang on. I got this. Ooh, I'm getting so good at this. All right. How to Dremel your dog's nails. Come on.
Okay, in this video, we're gonna show you how to Dremel a dog's nails. So you can see here when looking at the foot, you see where it's white and then where it turns pink. The pink is the vein, so you definitely don't want to go any shorter than that. So we could probably take off about that much. And it's not a whole lot to take off, so we're just gonna Dremel, and we're gonna show you a video of how to do that. So the Dremel that I'm using is actually a pet-friendly Dremel, but you could also use a Dremel 7700, as long as it's cordless. I believe a 7200, just regular Dremel, would be the same thing. You can see I'm just using my thumb to kind of push the nail down and kind of hold it steady. And I'm just going to use the Dremel or the filing tool, and I'm just going to round it out. You can see on this particular dog, that's about as short as I can get it because this is where the pink vein is. So I don't know if you can see on this nail, to about there is where I can go. And I just try to hit the nail from every angle just to make it round all the way around.
Can you hear me, Wendy?
I can.
The other thing to be don't have the Dremel going too slow, because then it just, you want it on a fairly fast speed so it doesn't just heat up the toenail.
Yep. Yep. Because you want it to be quick.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt the quick.
Right.
Since it looks like the video's about done, I will add one more thing, and why it's important to keep up with the nails is that the quick keeps growing, the pink part. And so you can have it like we've got that with Siri. She ran away for 4 months and her nails didn't get taken care of. So her quick is so long that even with her nails short, it almost touches the ground. And so if you neglect the dog's nails for a long amount of time, you can't just trim it up and it's fixed because it grows so much. You can't trim it back to how short you'd like it to be. So it's important to keep up with it.
Yeah.
It also will recede with time. If you keep up with the dremeling, that quick will go back farther and farther.
Yep.
It's not a quick process though.
No. If you walk your dog a lot on pavement, that will help. That, and most of my other dogs, I didn't even have to Dremel because we were walking so much, and the pavement just did it automatically. Now I still am walking, but I don't know if it's we're walking on different surfaces. So now I notice I'm having to Dremel more. But yeah, so just be checking your dog's nails. We don't want them getting long. We don't want them touching the ground. It hurts when their nails are digging into the ground, and that's how they're walking. So just, that's something to really pay attention to. That was a good one. Thank you, Janet, for sharing that.
No problem. Maybe you can share it to everybody at some point.
Yes.
In the next newsletter or something.
Yep. I think I'll copy that and put it maybe on the friends page. Okay, I think that's it. It is 8:12 for you guys, and we are done. Does anybody have any questions? Now would be the time. Anybody? Okay, we're gonna do a couple last commands. Are you ready? Get ready, get your paper out or in the chat. Here we go. Tells the dog to crawl under the table or into a small space. Tells the dog to crawl under the table or into a small space. Oh yes, I'm seeing it in the chat. Good job. Okay, Margot, what is it? What's the command?
Oh, wait, where are you?
I'm right here.
Oh, I wrote hi in by accident. It's go in.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And sometimes with Nautical, he doesn't like to sit the best way to get him to sit really close to us is when I say go in. Then he knows it's tight and right as
Yep.
close as you can go. Sometimes when I just say sit or down, he kind of has this little parameter. But I've always noticed go in really gets
That's
him
why we
tight
have
and
go
up
in.
close. Yeah, I
Um,
love it.
Next one, dog places its 2 front paws on a table, a counter. What is that? Okay, Melina, what is it?
Oh,
Oh,
I wrote
Up.
off.
It is up. Dog places its 2 front paws up on a table or counter. Good. Okay, next one. Tells the dog we're moving together. We're moving together. Oh yeah. Oof. Gotta fly in here. Get away, fly. Yes, and the command is Dina. What is the command? The girl on the treadmill. I love it.
3 miles I've done.
Good for you. Yes.
It's wait, what were you saying?
It is tells the dog we're moving together.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go. Good job. Okay, I got 2 more. Dog jumps into a vehicle. How do you get your dog into the vehicle? Yes. Okay, Liz, what is it? I know she's there because
Load.
yes.
I'm in the chat. It's load.
Load. Yes. Awesome. Okay, and the very last one is sends the dog to its crate. Sends the dog to its crate. Okay, Melissa, what is it?
Kennel in.
Yes, kennel. Yep, just kennel. I was naughty for a long time and used to say crate, and now I say kennel more, and sometimes I say kennel crate. Trying to go to kennel. I don't know why I always used to say crate, but they know. So yes, the command is kennel. All right, you guys, you are awesome. Thank you, everybody, for everything that you do. I'll stay on. I think Laura left me. She left me. I'll stay on for a little bit if anybody has any questions specifically about their dog. Otherwise, we're done. Thank you. And I will promise to post this tonight in case you want to watch any of those videos again. Thank you. Thank you, Caitlin, for that intake form. That was very helpful. Appreciate it. And I'm going to